how I'm getting 800 FPS in creative with 0.1 milliseconds render latency, and the same in Battle Royale where I'm getting over 500 FPS while looking over the map. So therefore I'm about to show you exactly how to set up the best Fortnite in-game settings, as well as give you a copy of my own game user setting. Afterwards we're gonna cover everything else as mentioned, which I do apply in my Nvidia app to really squeeze out maximum performance. But besides maximum FPS and getting the least amount of input delay, there's also something else very important. Because what I'm actually utilizing to get insanely low ping in Fortnite is GameUserSettings, which is by far the best gaming VPN out there. And as you can see, GameUserSettings is already reducing my ping by 2 milliseconds, which is insane. They even have a built-in packet loss protection service, and you can try it out for absolutely free with the link in the video description. Basically what I do every single time before I hop into Fortnite, I'm launching GameUserSettings real quick. You know, it's gonna scan my whole entire PC for all the games which I play, and then you just select Fortnite, and once you're done, it's gonna automatically choose the best server in your near with real-time connection as well. So basically it's routing 24/7 in the background to see, okay, is there like a better server as well available, or just simply making sure that I have no packet loss, which is the main reason why I can have this low ping in Fortnite, guys. Because usually without GameUserSettings I would have really high ping here, so this does in fact help me. Like, you can see how consistent my ping is without any sort of packet loss. Therefore make sure to try it out for absolutely free with the link in the video description, and with the code right now on screen you can get a couple of more days extra on top, so therefore try it out. So I'm about to cover the best in-game settings real quick and not waste your time. Windowed mode, of course, on windowed full screen with the Windows 11 feature enabled that you have no additional latency. Then for the rendering mode, of course, performance, guys, you don't want to play in DirectX 12 unless you're using Potato Graphics, where I made a full-on dedicated video about. You can check out afterwards. Potato Graphics also kind of cool if you ask me. Then the graphics settings themselves are kind of personal preference, but I'm using 150% for maximum visibility, and currently I'm not using any sort of colorblind mode like many other Fortnite pros. Now for the viewing distance, I did a full-on comparison of near, medium, and far, and I'm telling you guys, if you don't put this to at least far, you're not going to be able to recognize items further away than 50 meters. I know that sounds like a very short distance, but if you actually put this on medium or near, you can literally only see about like 25-ish meters to actually see what an item is. You're still gonna see the glow, maybe like in the color, but to actually be able to tell what it is, I would recommend you to at least utilize far, because even 50 meters isn't that far away, if you ask me. Then your textures and meshes both completely on low. And the Nvidia reflex low latency mode you want to definitely put at least to on, because it reduces drastically the amount of input render latency. And if you have a very good PC with decent cooling, you definitely should also utilize on plus boost, which is just going to make sure that your GPU clock speed is always going to be higher, therefore resulting in more consistency. Move over to audio, and here of course, guys, you want to put your sound quality to low, as it already says here described in Fortnite. This can actually decrease your performance, and visualized sound effects should be turned on, guys. Huge competitive advantage. Of course, if you're struggling with performance, actually put this one to off. And now let's continue with all the other settings which I apply to get more FPS in Fortnite. And now, guys, I'm also about to give you my full and optimized Fortnite game user settings, which you can get from my discord.gg/listdrives in the performance packs channel, guys. Once you join the Discord, basically just verify yourself, and then you can find under important performance packs, where's everything which I ever uploaded on this channel. Or you can also just simply search up performance on the top, and then you can find it as well. And I'm gonna paste it in here after uploading this video, guys. So therefore there's gonna be the new thumbnail with the game user settings underneath, and once you get them extracted on your desktop, just simply copy them. Then you open up your Windows search bar and type in that %, 10% and click under file. And once in here, you're going to click under local, press F on your keyboard to find Fortnite game. Then we're gonna go under saved, config, Windows client, and there we have our current game user settings, which you're going to delete and then replace with the new ones which I just gave you guys. And there's only one small thing which you have to do in these game user settings. You basically have to go here under edit and find and search up frame limiter. Yeah, guys, there you can see it. The frame rate limit here right now is set on unlimited. But what I would actually recommend you guys from my own test as well is just simply keep your FPS free underneath your maximum refresh rate of your monitor. Because of course, if you're playing on unlimited, you're gonna get more FPS. But the thing is, FPS fluctuates. So sometimes you have 240, then maybe 300, 350, and then it drops suddenly to 200, which is gonna cause as well insane drops in render latency. So therefore I actually tested this out, guys, with capped and uncapped, and on average my input delay was way lower with capped FPS. So therefore if you're playing, as an example, on 240 Hz, just simply cap your FPS on 237. If you're playing on 144, put it to 141. And on and on. That's basically the easiest way to make sure that you're getting overall the least amount of input delay in Fortnite consistently, while also maintaining very high FPS. So therefore for me, I'm capping mine here to 237. On stock, I'm gonna give you this config here basically with 1920x1080 res, by the way, but if you are playing on a 1440p screen like me right now here, you just simply have to change the resolution sizes X and Y and desired screen width and height as well to the resolution of your monitor. That's the only two things which you have to pay attention to. Other than that, make sure to save this here real quick, and then you get the best game user settings already. Next up, guys, we're going to utilize the Nvidia app to basically give you the best settings for Fortnite to get maximum FPS. As you can see right now, mine are on stock, and I'm going to show you exactly what is everything relevant, which you should change definitely. Some options like DLSS and stuff like that are not really relevant at the moment for Fortnite, especially if you're playing comp, so therefore I'm just gonna cover the ones which are really important. But of course, first things first, you can see there's a brand new driver update for my Nvidia drivers. I'm always going for the full game ready drivers, not some test versions, so therefore this is the first thing which you should do in the first place, guys. You can see it's 755 Mbits, so I'm just gonna wait there a little bit and make sure to install the latest version of my Nvidia driver. And once we're done with that, guys, we're gonna head over to graphics and go under global settings, and in here now I'm gonna give you the best options. Also make sure to open up show legacy settings because there's a whole bunch of more stuff. Now the first thing is DLSS override settings. All of these here basically don't play a huge role in Fortnite. You're not going to utilize frame generation to get basically AI frames. It's just going to increase your input delay, so don't care about it. Smooth motion, same thing, keep it on off. The low latency mode, many people think you actually have to put this one here on. But if you guys remember, in Fortnite directly, we have the Nvidia Reflex Low Latency mode, which is actually overriding this feature anyways. I'm gonna keep it on just in case if I'm playing some other games, which doesn't have the Nvidia Reflex mode. But as mentioned, if you have this already enabled in Fortnite, which is the better version, it's gonna override this here. Then CUDA system fallback policy, you're gonna leave on driver default. DSR factors, not utilizing this here. We're not using any sort of scaling basically for Fortnite. You don't want that, guys. You get so much more input delay. Then image scaling, also not. Maximum frame rate, we just talked about it, guys. We just changed it in the config itself, but I'm also gonna apply it here in the Nvidia app itself directly. As mentioned, you get way lower input delay on average with capping your FPS, so therefore this is what I'm doing. OpenGL GDI compatibility, you're gonna keep on auto. Power management mode, super important, prefer maximum performance, guys. Pretty self-explanatory. We wanna make sure that our GPU uses its maximum power. Then HDR or dynamic vibrance, you wanna keep these off, guys. Costing FPS, keep them off. Next up, guys, we have shader cache, and this one is so important. Please listen carefully. You wanna put this here on, and please put it on high. Let me explain this. If you have multiple games on your PC and all of them use shader cache, which is basically remembering small structures and game parts, so that every single time you launch Fortnite, it doesn't have to basically remember the game from scratch. It already sort of like knows how it's constructed. And if you have multiple games running on your PC, let's say like Fortnite, Valorant, maybe Call of Duty and some other game, every single one of these games creates at least like 1 to 2 gigs of shader cache. And if you leave this one too low only, you're limiting your PC to only utilize 10 gigs of storage for shader cache, which means if you get some other games, it's gonna delete the previously built shader cache again. And if you're unlucky, it might delete the one from Fortnite. So after you hop then again into Fortnite, it has to load the whole entire map and you're gonna get stutter and all of that. So just simply put it on high. Vertical sync, you never want to utilize, and also make sure to keep this one off, even if you don't utilize it on your monitor. It just introduces additional latency, and unless you have a lot of visual glitches on maybe like a 60 to 75 Hz monitor, you want to keep it on off. Virtual reality, you're going to keep on off as well. Next up, we have anisotropic filtering, which basically enhances the quality of textures in games. I don't really care about this in Fortnite, I just want to get maximum FPS, so therefore keep it on off. Anti-aliasing FXAA is a very old mode of anti-aliasing, just simply keep all of these here on off, especially the one for transparency, which just makes transparent objects look a little bit sharper, like fences or windows and stuff like that. Keep it on off. Background application maximum frame rate, kind of interesting if you maybe have a secondary monitor where you can maybe limit that one to, let's say, 100 FPS, which I guess would give you better FPS than in Fortnite, and having the other monitor as well run on like 200, 300 FPS, or better said, hertz, if it is a high refresh rate panel. So therefore, pretty cool thing. I don't utilize it though, because I'm playing on a single monitor. Then multi-frame sampled AA. This one is an improved version of FXAA, basically. Keep it on off, don't care about it. Next up, we have the physics themselves, guys, and I always let them run over my GPU. It gives me way better performance. And if you have any sort of up-to-date GPU, like at least like a GTX 1650, maybe something like that, always let it run over your GPU. Texture filtering, anisotropic sample optimization. This one we want to keep on, guys. This basically helps our PC to load textures faster, hand in hand with trilinear optimization. It makes your textures again look a little bit worse, but the FPS increase is there. The LOD bias itself, guys, we're just gonna leave on allow. There's also a thing for only potato graphics, so if you don't utilize that, keep it on allow. Anti-texture filtering quality, of course, on high performance, guys, super important. And then we're already done. Those are the best Nvidia settings for Fortnite, which you can enable in the Nvidia application itself. And now we're also gonna head real quick into the Nvidia control panel, which by the way, both of them share the same exact settings. So everything you just applied is also in here. But what we want to focus on, guys, is change resolution. Make sure that you select your native res, keep the refresh rate on the highest possible, and now go under adjust desktop size and position. Make sure to select your monitor, and if you're not utilizing a stretch resolution, always select no scaling. Don't leave it on any of these other ones because it's gonna introduce additional latency. Always no scaling. And now we're also gonna cover real quick the best color settings to make basically Fortnite and any game look way better. Just simply go under adjust desktop color settings, select your monitor again, and then we can see digital vibrance. Usually this one here is set only to 50%. And you're gonna instantly notice as soon as you slide this to the right side how your whole entire monitor is gonna get a lot more colorful. For me personally, I'm always keeping my digital vibrance around 70 to 75-ish, maybe something like that. And we're gonna apply this here real quick, but we're not done yet, guys, because under video we can also see adjust video color settings, where we again have to select our main monitor, go with the Nvidia settings, go under color, and there we can see our saturation as well. And this one here usually is also set to 50%, but we're gonna actually put it all the way up to 70 as well and apply this real quick. And that way your Fortnite is just gonna look so much more colorful and better, guys. Me personally, it also helps even in competitive, because it just gives me those insane colors. And then we're already done with this part here as well. Next up, guys, we're also going to utilize the MSI Mode utility version 3, which is very important because in here now we basically get the option to select our GPU and enable the MSI mode, which translates to message signaled interrupts, which is way better than utilizing legacy line based interrupts, which is basically if you don't have this one here checked. If you don't know what interrupts is, it's basically a signal that tells your CPU, hey, we need to process something. And if you enable this one here, basically you're making the communication between your GPU and CPU a lot faster, which will give you less PC interrupt latency, therefore resulting in lower input delay in Fortnite. Pretty cool and pretty self-explanatory. Basically, all you gotta do is find your GPU here and make sure to check the MSI mode. Now there is a link to it, which is gonna be right here from where you can get it, and I'm gonna leave this web link as well on my discord.gg/lostripes in the performance packs channel. As mentioned, in here we're already gonna have the game user settings, and I'm gonna put the link in here as well. So therefore, just let me join there, guys, verify, and then you can find performance packs. Or if you cannot find it, just let me search it up here on the top, performance packs, and in here is going to be the link. Then from here you can click on here and get the MSI Mode utility v3. And as mentioned then, once you open it up as an administrator, just let me search for your GPU and make sure to check MSI underneath here and click apply. That way you already fully set this up here, and you should in theory, and you should definitely experience a lot less input delay in Fortnite itself. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out this one here right now on the left side, where I checked out the 3 most popular custom operating systems and tested them for input delay, average FPS and all of that. Or the right side, where I show you how to get the best potato graphics here in Fortnite in 2026.